Okay. So, this is the big topic. And every time Sunday rolls around, I think, this is probably the topic we need to cover all year. And then the next Sunday comes, and I think, no, this is the topic we need to cover all year. So, love is definitely a topic we're going to revisit in many different ways. But I want to start off by getting really clear about what I think love is not, or where the misunderstandings begin on Valentine's Day, which I know most people think of as either a day for kids to give little gifts at school or for couples and romantic love. Now, what I'm about to say might be a little surprising, and I say this with so much respect and love for my wife. I hope she's not upset when I say this. But actually, I think that relationships and romance are about pretty much everything but love. And in our culture, we've just wrapped it all up in a lazy fairy tale kind of way to say relationships are about love, finding love, your true love. Love, 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 love. And it's great for songs, it's great for gift giving, and it's definitely a big industry. But just so we can move on quickly from this, what life has told me is that romantic relationships, I just want to cover this for anyone who's got this preoccupation today. Romantic relationships are about a lot of other things, like compatibility, like respect, like working well together, like finding the chemistry that makes your life enriched. But love is much, much bigger than that and much, much less specific. And if it's love that you want more of, the good news is it doesn't matter if you have a romantic relationship or not. It doesn't matter if you like your romantic relationship or not. It doesn't matter if you lost your romantic relationship or not. Because all that was a beautiful delusion that separated you from the rest of the world. I mean, that's really, if we're going to get down on relationships, that's really the curse of them, isn't it? That I might be so in love with my wife that I might not show the same love to the people driving in front of me, sitting beside me, shopping around me. Why? Because they don't go home with me? Because they don't say nice things to me? Because they don't look the way I want them to look? So we have a puzzle afoot. Because if we say God is love, and we do say that, don't we? And we do feel that. And if God is all things, visible and invisible, then love is the substance of things too. Love is just the heart's language for what we're seeing, what we're interacting with, what we come from, and what we'll return to. So a story comes to mind. This might just seem like a assorted box of chocolates this morning. That's a Valentine's Day joke. And it's about an experience of love that I had some years ago. And it came around the time where my dad was, well, we know in retrospect, approaching the end of his life. So I was about 22 years old. He was about 66. The numbers I don't exactly remember. And he had advanced lung and brain cancer. And I had finished up the schooling that I was in at the time, and I'd moved back to live with my mom and dad. And she was helping to care for him, and he was receiving most of his care at home. Now, this helps illustrate something, because my mom is what you would typify as a, quote, pardon my air quotes, loving person. Sweet, overly generous, incredibly complimentary, always nice. Right? Don't we love those people? Don't we love to be loved by those people? And my dad was the opposite. He was a great guy, but let's just say he wasn't, sweet wasn't the word you'd use for him. He was honest, straightforward, stuck to the facts, right? Gonzalo, that wasn't my favorite piece. Jonathan, how could you be so stupid? Pam, why aren't there so many people here today? I mean, he just, whatever he felt. And then the next day, Gonzalo, that was the most incredible piece of music I've ever heard in my life. Jonathan, that was absolutely brilliant. Pam, good job, the place is full. It was never, it was just whatever he thought and felt, and you got it straight on. Well, at the end of his life, he was having a difficult time speaking because the motor skills section in his brain had become eaten away by tumors. And so he couldn't speak, which was very difficult for him. He was very articulate, very smart, and as you may have noticed from my story, he liked to tell people what he thought. So I had been out running errands one day, and I came back to the house to find my mom in tears. And she came to me at the door and she said, "You've got to go talk to your dad. I don't know what's going on. It's breaking my heart. He's trying to say something. I don't understand." And I went into their living room, and there he was laying on the couch. He basically went from laying on a bed to laying on a couch to laying on a bed to laying on a couch. And he was moaning and pointing and looking furious and pointing at my mom and, "Calm down, Dad, calm down. We'll figure this out." We had a chart, yes, no, the alphabet I quickly wrote out. He was like, "Screw that, not doing your chart." And then I'm trying to listen and feel what he was saying and intuitive, and my mom would come in and interrupt. "Bill, are you trying to tell us that you love us and it's going to be okay?" And she'd cry again and go storming out of the room. And then she'd come back. She had another insight. "Bill, you want to forgive me for the mistakes I've made?" "Do you want us to forgive you for the..." It's like Frankenstein all over again. So, okay, like, "Mom, maybe you just need to be quiet for a little bit." So we started to talk, and honest to God, this is word for word true. I don't know how we got there. But somehow I got the feeling he wanted me to get something. Yes. A gift, yes. For someone in the family, no. We got around Murdoch. Murdoch, his old friend who he actually went to high school with and was still his friend and was also the family lawyer. "You want a gift for Murdoch?" And he started to relax. And I'm like, "What, like flowers or a card?" No. It turned out that he wanted to get Murdoch. Some of you might have heard this story. I've shared it once before or twice. He wanted me to get him a case of Lemon Heart rum. And that's my story for today. So what is it? My mom sends cards and flowers and chocolates in the mail and tells you endlessly how much she loves you and everything you do. "This is the best dinner I've ever had in my life, Jonathan. This is the most comfy guest bed I've ever had in my life. Thank you for letting me sleep on the floor. I love it." And my dad, a box of rum for the lawyer. But do you see where we're going with this? Thank you. That's good. Someone's honest. I have no clue. You don't have that much time to get there. He wanted, I knew Murdoch, I knew him, so it suddenly came together. So what I got was, he wants Murdoch to know that he is thanking him in advance for looking after my mom and our family for the years to come, where he can't, where my dad won't be able to make sure my mom's finances are in order, or that she's asking the right questions about the insurance on her condo or whatever it is. He's asking his friend to look out for her into the future. What's more loving than that? And no, he did not turn into Deepak Chopra or Wayne Dyer before he died. And my mom never got to hear the words she wanted to hear. But what we all slowly came to realize was that he, like everybody in this world, is loving to the best of their ability, in the way they know how. And some do it by pointing out the truth, and some do it by being a cheering section, and some do it by being therapeutic, and some do it by doing research or organizing finances or building things or cleaning things. It's actually what we're all doing all the time. It's why we show up. It's why we do anything at all. And it's not just the impulse to give, but it is, of course, also the impulse to receive. Because love is the currency of spirit. It's the currency of life. It's constant exchange and relationship. One of the things that occurred to me is that too often we use the word love like a noun. I want love. I want more love, different love, better love, as though it were an iPhone, right? Can I upgrade it? Can I enhance it? Can I get a bigger one with more memory? It's a verb. It's a feeling. It's an experience. And if you think of love that way, then you can always have more. But you have to give more, right? You have to give more to feel more. It's just a feeling. So everything in our life is an opportunity to experience love more. Every loss, every disappointment, every insult, every compliment, to love our world more, to love ourselves more. And aren't they so profoundly interconnected? To love ourselves more, we find the barriers dropping down and we become more generous. Or we become more generous and the barriers fall and we love ourselves more. It's so amazing because love is this incredible energetic hologram that goes always in all directions. But beware your mind, because it will trick you and tell you that if you don't have it the way it looked in the book, or the way your parents told you, or the way you thought it would be, you could feel sad, lonely, disconnected, frustrated, but you would only be succumbing to an illusion and forgetting our purpose. To remember that we are spirits in the human dimension, and our greatest power is to bring something intangible from the world of spirit, love, and make it real through actions, through deeds, through art, through our lives. And if you think about this as the cornerstone of a spirit-centered life, well, then you've got your spiritual practice. How do you love traffic? How do you express love to Donald Trump? How do you express love to conflict, to financial struggle? See, again, there's that confusion. We're not asking you to say, I love traffic. I love Donald Trump. I love financial despair. We're saying, can you feel and express it to something that you might not agree with or something you might not like? Do you see how they're not on the same level? It's okay to not like everything. It's okay to not fit everywhere. It's okay to not feel comfortable with everything. But that is not saying you are exempt from loving. Can you see that? That's kind of the heart of it all, isn't it? I mean, that, I do believe, is the heart of what really brings us all here. We're looking for something that is unlocked by the very act of loving that we are capable of. So to kind of wrap up, there's sort of a kind of a basic concept I wanted to share. And I guess it just sort of restates something that I started with, but I find it's almost like a very, very insidious poison of the mind, so I invite you to take this as homework, which is to remember that the more you restrict your love, the more vulnerable you become in this world. The more you become specific and guarded and careful in how you love, what you love, and who you love, the more discomfort, dissatisfaction, and unhappiness you will experience, I can promise you. And yet that is what most of us have been guided, directed, and socialized to do. Find that person and that community, and then you're done. But the world will keep going, and you will keep meeting people, and things will continue to not always go your way, and then what? But if you think of the opposite, loving generously, fearlessly, everywhere, always, then no one can take it from you. No one can break that heart, because that heart isn't waiting for one person to say, good job, or one group to say, we accept you. The true heart of spirit, the heart that we think of when we think of the teachings of Jesus, of Buddha, of all the great masters over time, is the heart that loves indiscriminately. Loves indiscriminately. And what it looks like is forgiveness, willingness, openness, and the commitment to look for the sacred, for spirit in all things. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes as we wrap up this thought. And I'm going to invite you to do a little closing exercise with me that's a little different than our normal closing reflection on your life and where you're going. I'm going to ask you to just take a moment and put your attention in your heart. Center of your chest. Maybe you think of it as your heart chakra or the heart center of your body or your physical heart. Just be in the center of your body there. Just put your awareness there and take a moment with your awareness in this part of your body and think of someone or something that evokes a loving feeling in you. Have the memory of love, the feeling of love, and it could be family or romance or a pet or a place. Just take a moment and ignite the feeling. And continue to breathe that energy into your heart, out from your heart, as if you could actually receive energy into your heart. Send energy out from your heart. Be with the memory of love. And then in closing, we're going to take just a few moments to send that love to the world, and we're going to do it with a vibration in honor of our World Sound Healing Day, the day where people send a loving vibration for the healing of the planet and all beings on it together as one. So I'm going to lower the mic and I'm going to ask you to just begin to hum together. You can just make a feel the vibration in your heart. Put your hand on your heart and hum and feel the vibration. Can you feel your heart resonating? When you need to, take a breath and continue with the hum. And then when you're ready, you can open it up and send it out, ah or oh, and let us just be in the vibration of love together. Oh. Just a little longer, a little deeper, a little fuller, a little more fearlessly. you.